Every casino game promises excitement, but the real business is taking a tiny cut from every bet, a silent tax hidden in the odds. Somewhere on a packed casino floor, there is a wager so secret it is not even marked on the felt, a bet with a 0% house edge, the only one casinos would rather you never find. Why would the world's sharpest gambling operators allow a loophole this powerful? And why do 99% of players walk right past it without even noticing? The true secret is not just the math, it is what you are not being told. And the reason might change the way you look at casinos forever. Here is where the deception really begins. Every chip that crosses the casino floor is subject to a silent math equation. The house edge, sometimes as little as a few percent, sometimes much more, acts like a toll, quietly collecting from every wager. On slot machines, this cut can range from 2% to 15%. For every $100 pulled through a slot, only $85 to $98 ever finds its way back to the player. Roulette, with its spinning wheel and hypnotic anticipation, takes a steady 5.26% on the classic American layout. That means out of every $100 bet, just under $95 makes it back in winnings. The rest stays with the house, brick by brick building those neon towers and marble lobbies. These percentages might seem small, almost harmless, but in a casino, time and volume are on the house's side. A player placing a modest $10 roulette bet every minute will cycle through $600 an hour. At a 5.26% edge, the casino expects to keep about $31 from that single player every hour. Multiply that by hundreds of tables and thousands of players, and the numbers swell into millions, quietly siphoned off round after round. This is the grind, a slow, relentless drain that does not depend on big wins or dramatic losses. It is a system designed for patience, not spectacle. Even games that advertise low house edges, like blackjack or baccarat, still take their cut. Blackjack's edge can dip below 1% for skilled players, but the average gambler, making basic mistakes or taking insurance, gives up far more. The house edge is not just a number, it is a business model, engineered to ensure that over time, the casino always wins. Every game is engineered with this invisible tax built into its rules. The payout tables, the odds, even the minimum bets are calibrated so that the longer you play, the more certain your loss becomes. It is a system so effective that casinos can forecast their profits with near mathematical certainty, month after month, year after year. But there is one exception, a loophole so well hidden that it is not printed on the layout, whispered about among insiders, and almost never explained to casual players. For most, the grind is unavoidable, a cost of admission to the spectacle. But for those who know where to look, the rules can be bent, and the math can be beaten. The secret is not found in the bright lights or the ringing bells, but in a single bet that quietly breaks the casino's own code. The craps table commands attention the moment you step onto the casino floor. It's not just the size, though it's usually the largest table in the room, it's the noise. Dealers bark out calls in rapid-fire bursts, their voices rising over the steady thrum of chips and dice. Players crowd shoulder to shoulder, some clutching stacks of chips, others just hoping for a lucky streak. The layout sprawls with dozens of boxes and numbers, each promising a different way to win or lose. There is no guidebook on the felt, only a dense map of options that seems to shift with every roll. At the edge of the table, newcomers hesitate, watching the veterans for cues. The stickman hurls the dice down the green expanse, then sweeps the center, calling out hard 8, pay the field. Chips fly in all directions. Hands dart in and out, placing bets before the next roll. Every second counts. Decisions are made in a flash, and there is no time to second guess. The pressure comes from every angle. Dealers move with precision, sliding chips across the felt and stacking payouts with practiced speed. The players, often in clusters, shout for numbers, slap the rail, and cheer or groan as the dice tumble. For someone new, the chaos is overwhelming. It's easy to feel like an outsider, especially when the regulars toss out slang and hand signals, moving chips to spots that are not even labeled. Most eyes are drawn to the center of the table, where proposition bets sit in bold print. Any 7, hard ways, yo 11. These are the bets that get the loudest calls and the fastest action. But just behind the main betting line, there is a blank stretch of felt. No markings, no instructions, just empty space. Dealers rarely mention it, and most players never touch it. For a beginner, this unmarked zone might as well be invisible. The intimidation is not just about the noise or the speed. It is the sense that everyone else knows the secret code, where to put chips, when to bet, what is allowed and what is not. Place a bet in the wrong spot and you will get a sharp correction or a puzzled look. Ask a question and the answer might come too fast to understand. The table feels like a test you have not studied for, with rules that are not written down. This environment is not accidental. The confusion and the spectacle keep most players focused on the obvious bets, the ones with clear labels and quick payoffs. The unmarked area remains untouched, hidden in plain sight. It is a gap in the design, one that favors the house, not the player. In the chaos of the craps table, the best opportunity is the one that almost nobody notices. A licensed craps dealer stands behind the rail, hands poised above the felt. The table is alive with chatter and movement, but there is a precise rhythm to what happens next. The shooter has just rolled a point, a 6. The dealer places a white plastic puck marked on above the number 6. Only now does the hidden bet become available. To make an odds bet, you do not look for a labeled box. There is not one. Instead, take your chips and place them directly behind your original pass line wager, right in the empty strip of felt between your base bet and the dealer. No markings, no instructions. Just a blank zone. The etiquette is simple. Wait until the point is established, then set your chips neatly behind your pass line bet. Dealers are trained to recognize this move instantly. If you are unsure, a quick nod or a quiet request, "Odds please," will do. The dealer will often adjust your chips for you, stacking them in the correct spot so there is no confusion when the dice land. Timing is everything. Place your odds bet before the next roll, after the point is set, but never while the dice are in motion. Dealers watch for late bets, and they will push chips back if the dice are already airborne. The process is the same whether you are betting the minimum or the table maximum. The only requirement is that you already have a pass line bet in play. Without that, there is nothing to back up. How much you can place as odds depends on the table's posted limits. Some allow double your base bet, some allow 3 times, 5 times, or even 10 times. In rare cases, the limit stretches to 100 times your pass line wager. But the procedure never changes. Chips go behind, in the blank zone, after the point. This unmarked space is reserved for those in the know. Most players never touch it, either because they do not notice or because the lack of labeling makes them hesitate. Dealers rarely mention the odds bet unless asked. Their focus stays on the action in the center of the table where the house edge is highest. But if you place your chips behind the line, they will handle your wager with care. No questions asked. If you win, they will pay out according to the true odds of the dice. If you lose, your chips disappear along with the base bet, and the process begins again with the next shooter. This simple act, placing chips in an empty stretch of felt, unlocks the only bet in the casino that pays exactly what the math says it should. No hidden tax, no invisible edge, just a wager placed with intention in a spot most players never dare to use. 36 possible outcomes. That is all there are when 2 dice hit the table. Every bet in craps is built on this grid, but only one wager pays exactly what the math demands. No more, no less. Take the point number 4. There are 3 ways to roll a 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 2, or 3 and 1. But there are 6 ways to roll a 7. That is a total of 9 possible outcomes before the round ends. The chance of rolling a 4 before a 7 is 3 out of 9, or 1 in 3. The odds bet pays out at 2 to 1. If you win, you double your money. If you lose, you forfeit your bet. Here is how the numbers prove the point. Suppose you bet $10 on the odds bet, backing the number 4. Over 9 rounds, you will expect to win 3 times and lose 6. Each win pays $20, so 3 wins return $60. 6 losses cost you $60. Added up, $60 won, $60 lost. The expected value is 0. No hidden cut, no silent tax. The payout matches the true probability of the dice. The same logic applies to every point number. On the 5 or 9, there are 4 ways to win and 6 ways to lose. The payout shrinks to 3 to 2, so a $10 odds bet pays $15. Over 10 rounds, you will win 4 times and lose 6. 4 wins at $15 each is $60. 6 losses at $10 each is $60. Again, the expected value is 0. For the 6 or 8, 5 ways to win and 6 ways to lose. The payout is 6 to 5. Bet $10, win $12. Over 11 rounds, 5 wins return $60. 6 losses cost $60. The math never changes. Michael Shackelford, known in the gambling world as the Wizard of Odds, puts it simply. The odds bet has 0 house edge because it pays exactly true odds, the best bet in the casino. His analysis, trusted by both players and casinos, confirms that no matter how many times you run the numbers, the result is always the same. The odds bet is a mathematical outlier, a wager where the casino's advantage vanishes entirely. This is not just theory. Every payout, every combination, and every expected value calculation has been tested and verified by experts like Shackelford. The numbers are public, the logic is airtight. In a business built on tiny edges and relentless grind, the odds bet stands alone. It is the only wager where the player and the house stand on perfectly even ground. Limits are the casino's silent defense. Even at the craps table where the odds bet gives away the house's edge, there is always a cap. Most strip tables set a 3 times, 4 times, 5 times limit on ODDS. That means 3 times your pass line bet on the 4 or 10, 4 times on the 5 or 9, and 5 times on the 6 or 8. So if you put $10 on the pass line and the point is 6, you can back it with up to $50 in odds. The higher the odds, the lower your effective house edge. At full 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, that cuts the house edge to under 0.4%. But you will never find a table that lets you bet unlimited odds. The casino's risk is real. Too many big winners on true odds, and the numbers start to swing against them. So the caps stay in place, enforced by the pit boss with a quiet nod or a tap on the rail. Meanwhile, the center of the table is a minefield. Proposition bets such as any 7, hardways, and horn bets flash in bold print, promising big payouts. These are the house's bread and butter. The edge on any 7 sits at a staggering 16.67%. For every $100 wagered, nearly $17 is lost on average. Dealers call out these bets with energy, inviting players to take a shot. There is no mention of the odds bet. The action is fast, the distraction's constant, and the house edge on these center bets is often 10 times higher than on the pass line. A veteran pit boss watching from behind the table sums it up. We push the field in props because that is where the house makes money. When it comes to odds, we just pay them. The rules are clear, but the real game is played in the margins, with limits on the best bets and loud encouragement for the worst. For those who know the arithmetic, the path to advantage is narrow and carefully guarded. A disciplined player can use math to dilute the casino's advantage almost to zero. The pass line bet carries a 1.41% edge, but the odds bet, stacked behind it, has 0% house edge. The trick is blending bets to shift money from the base bet to the odds. Take a $10 pass line bet. Add $50 in odds if the table allows 5 times. Now, your total wager is $60, but only the first $10 are subject to the house tax. That means your effective house edge drops to just 0.235%. The formula is simple. Multiply your base bet by 1.41%, then divide by your total action. The more you shift from the base to the odds, the more the edge shrinks. James Grosjean, one of the most respected advantage players, calls this approach iron discipline. He warns against the temptation to raise the base bet for ego or excitement. The smart move is always a small pass line and maximum odds. Every extra dollar on the odds is a dollar the casino cannot touch. That is how professionals play, quiet, focused, ignoring the noise and the center table distractions. Online casinos sometimes offer even higher multipliers, 10 times, 20 times, even 100 times odds. On sites like BetMGM or DraftKings, a $10 pass line can be backed with $1,000 in odds, slashing the effective edge to nearly zero. Digital tables change fast. Always check the rules menu before betting, because some platforms quietly cap odds or change payout structures. One misread line in the fine print can erase the advantage. The math is public, the edge is real, but the discipline to use it sets winners apart. The casino's secret is not just hidden on the felt, it is hidden in the arithmetic most players never bother to check. Every year, US casinos collect over $60 billion, almost all from bets designed to win by fractions. Yet the odds bet remains hidden in plain sight, quietly challenging the industry's rules. In a world built on illusion and distraction, knowing where the real edge lies is a rare power. The next move is not just luck, it is knowledge. What you do with it is up to you.